All right, welcome to Thursday Night Fading Suns. I am JM. You are watching the Ulysses International channel, and this is the crew of Cassius's Blade, a group of known worlders who have traveled through a jump gate that malfunctioned. You're not really sure what happened, but you ended up traveling a lost road and arriving on the planet of Antioch. Now, if you just stumbled upon this stream, this is Fading Suns, a brand new edition of which just finished kickstarting on Tuesday and will soon be available for PDF and hopefully print in the next couple of months. And it is a science fantasy game set in the far future when the stars are starting to go out, and has a very sort of medieval or science fantasy sort of flavor. You have blasters and lasers and energy shields and swords and priests and psychers and all of the trappings of science fiction, but kind of couched in sort of a medieval mindset and worldview and lens. If you're familiar with Dune, that's a really good analog, but Fading Suns is its own thing, and we are glad to be playing it. We've got a great game for you tonight. We're 8 episodes into this arc known as the Annals of Antioch. Depending on how tonight goes, we may have 8 episodes of the Annals of Antioch, or we may have 9 or 10. It all depends on my exceptional players and their plan. When we last left off, you guys had finally made it into the Palace Cathedral of the Paladendrex, the heretical ruler of Antioch. Seemingly immortal. From what Rothgar has told you and what other people on the planet have said, the Paladendrex has ruled since the closing of the gates, the barring of heaven, which is what they call when they cut their world off, or their world was cut off from the Second Republic during its fall. Through the aid of certain nobles who were working against the Paladendrex, and through one of their Kurgan Caliphate allies, made it into the tunnels under the city of Antioch. Fought some husks, still not certain what caused that outbreak, and managed to make it into the halls of the Palace Cathedral, where you accosted some poor probate who was just trying to get to his next class and now has regretted all of his life decisions and is most likely sobbing in the corner of a storeroom, hog-tied and gagged. You then dressed Father Bell in the accoutrement of the probates and made your way to the lift that probate Avones, told you about. Now, when you get there, the reason you're trying to head down is because of Father Bell's visions. And also the visions that the young girl Anna had that she passed on to you, Perpetua, right? You must descend before you can. You must descend in order to ascend. So kind of tying all of that together, you have arrived at this lift. And when you get to the lift, you can see there is this metallic panel on the side of the lift. The doors do not open to you, Father Bell, and the panel seems to be filled with a slightly iridescent crimson gel. It doesn't pour out of it. It just kind of sits there next to it. You have all caught up. You have not seen anyone else in these halls. Wherever you are at, either the Cathedral Palace is housing far less than it appears to from the outside, or you are just in a remote part of it. So here you are at this lift. This is where Avonis told you to go. What do you do?
Who wants to touch it?
Yeah, I was going to say, does anybody volunteer to touch it?
So it looks like a big red button, but the button is like Jello.
No, it is a raised metal box, like a raised metal square, right next to the lift doors, and inside the square is this like iridescent crimson gel.
Anybody have a stick?
Well, I was thinking if anything except a human hand goes in, an alarm is definitely going to go off.
Yeah, I don't know that you should volunteer.
And if it's not the correct human, an alarm is probably going to go off.
How about one of the things on your costume, Father Bell? Like the coffin, isn't it like a coffin symbol or something that you can hold in front of it, maybe?
Well,
I mean, if it's a biometric scanner, we're screwed.
so if I recall correctly, the robe has well, it had a rope belt, but we used that to tie up.
That's right. You're easy breezy in these probate robes, for there's no way to cinch it around your waist.
And does it have any symbols, chains?
It has no chains,
pins?
but you do have the symbol of the coffin on the robe.
Yeah, but is that just stitched or painted or?
It's sort of embroidered.
Embroidered, yeah. Okay. Well, stand back, everybody. I'm gonna see about interfacing, I guess. I do.
Your the honey snake cross stitch that you did for me is like right behind me, but unfortunately the chair is blocking it. I'll move it for next time, Lily.
Okay.
All right, what are you doing, Father Bell? What are the rest of you doing while you're here?
Cringing.
And there's nothing else on this doorway?
I do want to see if I can examine it, closely before I touch it. But is there anything? I mean, is there any small lettering or symbols or anything?
Well, as the two of you, Rothgar and Father Bell, as you look around, you can see that next to the panel, someone has sort of scratched in symbols.
The cheat sheet
on the wall.
Look, symbols on the wall.
Reminds me of Xbox commands. Up, down, right, left, A, B, A, B.
Yeah.
Are there symbols on the box, that frame that had holding the gel there?
What was your question, Mark? Sorry.
Are there any symbols on the box itself that had that red gel? So it's smooth, but this is near it.
Yeah, this looks like it's been scratched in next to the box, very faintly on the wall. Had you not actually been looking for something near it, you probably would have just assumed they were part of the, the scuffing and the scratching on.
How big is the red gel, like the opening for the red gel, and how big is the coffin?
The red gel is about 4 inches square.
Okay.
The coffin that's embroidered on his chest is about 6 inches top to bottom, and about half that at its widest point.
We don't have any of the coffin things from the judges, do we?
Nope. Brother Gabriel had that stuff. And this box that it's in, I mean, is there a border or something on it, or is it pretty narrow and sheer?
It's about an inch wide around, right? The inner square of the red gel is about 4 inches by 4 inches, which makes the total, frame about 6 by 6. So not large, right? Really, your hand wouldn't fit in there. Like it doesn't seem to be
Right.
like a biometric scanner because you would have to have like sort of really small hands.
Teeny hands. Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely picking up on the out of character thought that Mark had, but I'm sure was somehow expressed in that.
There's a question.
I got an answer for you.
So there's this panel that holds that gel.
Yes.
Is it flat with the wall, or is it spaced just a little bit?
It's sticking out about 1/4 of an inch, so you can tell that it looks like if you were to press into the gel, it would register the indentation.
I get very close to the metal frame and just kind of breathe on it to see if I can see where people have pressed on it before.
On the frame or on the gel?
I kind of go around the frame to see if that has any kind of indication that you push on that.
All right, as you kind of it mists. You don't see any real smudges like oils on the frame, but you definitely see smudges on the film of the gel. There's no like pattern. It doesn't look like they were put in a specific place, but it looks like people's fingers have sort of smudged all over this thing quite a bit.
So yeah,
Okay.
it's I'm keeping an eye out like up and down the halls to make sure I notice if someone is coming.
All right.
Now, what do you think, Father Bell? Is it corresponding to the edge of the square, up, down, right, left, or do we make these symbols over and over and over? You're the man of letters, not me.
Well, these are to me. These look like they look like arrowheads. The point of a drawn arrow to indicate the side. So my first hypothesis would be that we tap right, up, left, up, right,
Well,
down.
If I remember my graduate classes, it looks more like cuneiform to me.
Oh, well,
Instead of tapping, what if you swipe?
I only learned Latin.
Oh, there you go.
If we did, sorry, runner, what?
What if you instead of tapping, what if you swiped?
swiped?
What are we on Tinder?
Maybe.
Have a weird point, Mark. That was bizarre.
What even is Tinder on Antioch? I don't want to know.
Moving on. Back to the puzzle.
I mean, in some ways, I don't think we'll know until we actually touch the gel and see how it reacts.
Yep.
But let's.
Here's the other thing. If someone has gone to the trouble to like scratch it in, that means people don't remember, and so if we mess up, possibly people aren't going to come running right away.
Yeah,
Possibly,
that
it's not the
seems
end of
like
the world. It also seems like it would not be helpful to go get our,
Friend.
yeah,
No,
kidnappee, because if he knew how to access this, he would have told us.
he said he wasn't allowed down there.
Right.
Yeah.
Runner, give me a perception plus observe roll, please.
Am I using my sniffer?
No.
Okay.
Danger sense? Danger! Danger!
Danger sense. I'm gonna put some points into that. Well, it was not a 20. It was 18 out of 16.
All right, you hear...
I pull the strings of fate and turn it into a non-critical 16.
Ooh. I am successful then.
How much are you spending then?
Hang on. 2.
James making a note to self: never let another thirds play.
That's right.
That's right.
No, that's fine.
I
Father Bell just has a limited number of doing that left, and then that unfortunate incident will happen. It's a cool power. Like,
it is, especially for when you're like this close. So it goes easy, hard, or easy, difficult, hard.
2, 4, 6.
Extreme.
Yep. It goes
Okay.
all the way up to 12, I think, for Herculean.
Oh, I thought 14 was Herculean. I mean, it might have changed since the last time I looked at that. I will spend 6.
All right. You definitely hear people talking. They're pretty far away, but their voices are sort of just on the far end of your hearing. You're guessing you have about 5, maybe 7 minutes based off of just your sense of having walked down these halls and how the sound echoes.
Okay. So I'm going to turn to Father Bell and say, okay, pick it up, make a decision, do something. Unfortunately, I don't think...
I kind of like your swipe idea. If everyone's good with that, I will swipe in the direction of the arrows consecutively.
All right, Mark, as you swipe in the direction of the arrows, you realize that you've just drawn a 5, and the red gel goes to green, and then immediately turns red again.
That was just the first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then I'll do the next one.
Okay.
The second one comes out 2, and the final one a 9. And with a ding,
Yes.
the doors open, and you step into the lift.
Brilliant.
Lovely.
Now, as the doors close, you can see that there are 3 buttons in the lift. The dust and the grime has kind of caked over the sort of transparent labels next to them. You can't really read them, but you can see that the middle button does have a dried bloody fingerprint on it.
That's the one we push.
Does it smell like anyone you
Runner,
know?
can you tell how
Runner?
fresh it is?
How fresh is it?
It's not fresh at all. It's very dry and
Like, not today? Like, they just never clean this elevator? Or
like within the last day or 2, right? If it had been much longer, it would just, it's still fresh enough to be discernible and not to kind of have started to break down.
okay.
I think it's the guy who captured Brother Gabriel.
Oh, that's a good theory.
Possibly. All right. Middle button.
I push the middle button.
All right. There's a jolt as the lift starts to descend, and it moves fast enough that you all kind of feel that sort of rising, almost weightlessness in your stomach. And the top button lights up as you go past it, and you can see that a 4th button sort of resolves out of the wall above, at the top of the 3. So it is now accessible to go back to the floor that you were on. When you arrive on the third, when you press the button that you press, so like this, the 2 levels down, the lift comes to a halt. You can see that this button sort of recedes back into the wall, and the doors open. And beyond, you can tell that this is not a place that has been used very often at all. There is a series of clear plastic slats that are hanging from the ceiling. They seem to sort of be moving just slightly from the fact that the elevator doors have opened, and they are marked with the coffin. And the lift exits out onto a long hallway, and most of the hallway is dark save for the light right here outside of the elevator door, and one at the very far end that's sort of flickering, giving you just enough light to see that it looks like there may be gurneys or beds in this hallway, but it's kind of hard to make out in the light that is provided.
Why is the abandoned human hovels so creepy? What do you guys do that makes them so creepy? Why?
Well,
Why do you do this?
Uh,
I definitely have pulled my gun out. And...
Yeah. Part the plastic and step out there. Senses on alert.
all right. Runner, as soon as the plastic is parted, you definitely smell ozone and blood and that faint sort of aroma of burnt hair.
All right. Keep your eyes out, guys. Someone's here.
Just to run into the other Voroks.
I'd like to cast Celestial Alignments to be prepared.
Okay.
We were playing a different popular fantasy game. I'd be casting a buff, but instead I'm going to don a right.
Remember, you can't go wrong with donning a right.
Can you go
I
left?
think that we know that is not true, but
If you cast if you don 3 of them, do you go left then?
Yes, that's true. 3 rights do make a left.
Okay. Ooh, nice. All right. I needed a 16. I rolled a 15.
Moved.
It is an easy resistance. And now I have a substitution die. Should something. Plus, I sense the whole planetary system and where the pirate ship is and all of those things.
Yes, the pirate ship is still in orbit, but its orbit is beginning to break down. It's no longer in sort of the geosynchronous orbit that you knew, that kind of like we're aware of it being in. It's starting to drift, and you know that it's got maybe 3 days before it actually hits atmosphere, and once that happens, it's all over for that ship.
That might be useful in getting us out of here if we either acquire it or cannibalize it, but one impossible thing at a time.
Okay. There's nothing on these gurneys. They look like gurneys.
You're heading down the hall?
Yeah, I thought.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll look at the group, start slowly moving down.
As you kind of start coming down, you can see that these gurneys rather recently, like within the last 24, 48 hours, have definitely seen use. The sheets on the gurneys are soaked with blood and other liquids and fluids. You can still, as you get close, you can smell the ripeness in the air. It looks like as you kind of head down, you can see that there are several other rooms that aren't, illuminated, but when the light flickers in, you can see beds that have similar. They're in similar states of to the gurneys. But the smell of ozone, as you get about halfway down the hall when you reach the gurneys, you can smell it as well. Like there's this like acrid scent to the air, and it grows stronger the further down the hall you go.
I think we're in Husk Production Central.
We're in something. They're making, whether it's husks or judges or
Sucking on
other
life force.
diseases. It's a terror facility.
So you think they use the terror to generate emotions, and that's what it feeds on?
Or it's something for them to use in order to keep the populace in terror of them.
No, the judges do that.
Right.
Right. But if the judges also protect you from something worse,
Oh, yeah.
it's a handy little factory
Sort
of
of a
power.
who watches the watchman sort of a deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'll continue. Is it wide enough for two of us to go down
It's
at
wide
the same
enough for
time?
the four of you to walk in
Abreast.
a line.
Father Bell, I think you should stay behind Rothgar or I.
Okay.
Are you both facing forward?
Yes.
I am
What
going
if
to
you-
watch from behind.
Kind of watching your six.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
All right. Well, that just means that changed my ambush tactics. Instead, as you head down the hall,
I'm aware of your ambush tactics.
that is true. You have gained quite a bit with me.
And you did line the halls with gurneys that are like benches.
They are like benches.
Quite similar.
That's right. Benches get stuff done. When you finally get to the end of the hall, you can see that the light is flickering over a set of double doors that is also marked with the coffin, but this one has sort of a strange broken circle in the middle of it. That is like the outer edges of the circle are not connected, and they're all sort of connected to like a center spoke. It kind of reminds you of like a wheel, except the wheel is broken.
So kind of like a jump gate symbol, but not quite broken or marred or defaced.
No, not like a jump gate symbol at all. Like there's a center spoke, and there's three axes coming out, and then there's sort of arcs that look like it might have been a full circle at one point, but is this different symbol than anything you've seen before.
Like a broken wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And does this mean anything to me based on my studies? And
it doesn't mean anything to you in sort of a religious context, no.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never seen this anywhere on the planet or Antioch.
No.
Hmm.
But the smell of ozone has definitely reached the point that all of you, enhanced senses or not, can detect it. It seems to be very strong here, as if it's emanating from the other side of the door, and you all hear a low buzz from the other side of the door.
A constant, or is it
just a constant,
pulse?
like a constant noise.
Okay. Can we quietly push this open?
on a stealth roll?
You can give me a stealth roll. I would just like to mention in a popular fantasy game that I ran this afternoon, someone tried that and rolled a natural 1, and in an Abbott and Costello sort of entrance into the room, they went just kept hoping that the screeching would stop, and it didn't. And so, all of their enemies
well,
knew
I'm
they
going
were
to
there.
spend a weird point then.
Who's rolling it, Rothgar or Renner? Or are you both each taking a side?
You can do it. That's
All right. Plus sneak or sleight of hand?
This is a sneak roll.
Sneak. Okay. So I'm spending a weird point and a few VP to roll less than a 17. Ooh, 13.
All right. How much are you spending to how precise are you being when you were trying to open this door?
she's got 4 hands to do it.
That's true.
I am going to spend 8.
All right. Never have you opened a door with such precision or stealth. It is as if the door is not there. It glides open effortlessly. And on the far side, you can see that this is a laboratory of some sort. And kind of dominating the center of the room, suspended by arms and ankles, is Dorian. Kind of spread out,
I feared it.
in sort of a spread eagle in the air, manacled. His arms and about mid forearm and mid calf are encased in these metallic cylinders, and you can see he is definitely awake, and conscious and in pain as his eyes just kind of continually spasm. He has a breathing mask kind of placed over his face, and you can see bolted over or attached over his lower back, just above each hip, is a hand-sized metal plate, and there are 2 tubes coming out of each, and one is black and one is arterial red. And he's just kind of shuddering, and you can see that there's definitely the hum is coming from these machines. The hair on his head is standing up. Hair on his chest is standing up. All of the hair on his body is just kind of yes.
Is there
anyone else
hurt people? Nobody
What?
else.
What'd you say?
I was going to ask if there is anyone else in
There
the
is
room.
no one else. You do, now that the door is open, hear several arrhythmic hissing noises, as if different pumps are operating sort of in different sequences. And there are other machines kind of on either side of him and behind him.
Okay. If there's no one else, I am moving in quickly and quietly.
I will follow her.
Okay.
I too.
And attempt to figure out how to disengage. Or actually, Perpetua, how is your interface or tech redemption?
I don't have points in either.
Okay.
I got 4 in tech redemption.
Okay, I have 5. Okay.
Well, there you go.
I guess I will be doing it.
Tech redemption would
then
be more if you were
Perpetua.
trying to make something or repair something.
Right.
I don't want to repair. I want to do the opposite and break something.
Well, you don't
But
need a tech redemption skill for that. You just need a hammer.
But we want to do it in a way that doesn't hurt Dorian.
And or kill him.
Or kill him. So, Perpetua, if you want to watch the hallway to make sure nobody sneaks up behind us.
Are there other doors in this room?
There are several man-sized openings in the wall, and there are glowing, like slightly illuminated silver discs on the floor in those, like just beyond those openings. But besides that, you don't see anything else.
Do I have to leave this door open, or is there like a window or something that I can observe?
Oh yeah,
through?
there's a window, and you can definitely see the razor wire embedded in the glass.
Great. So I'm gonna ease the door closed so that somebody doesn't come down and say, "Oh, why is that door open?"
It
Father
screeches the
Bell,
entire way as you close. No.
Father Bell, are there ways that we could barricade those other open entries?
I think that's how the judges get here. On the
I
silver
also think
discs.
that's how the judges get here.
Hmm.
So I think we should trip them up.
Yeah. Are there gurneys, chairs, furniture of any sort in here, or just
There are several strange-looking chairs. They have a very bulbous base that sort of comes up to a about stool height, and then there's a scoop, roughly buttock-shaped, as if you would kind of sit on top of it, and the bottom seems like, as you're kind of moving it, it seems almost ambulatory. Also, Phantom of Truth gets a weird point for guessing the symbol on the door. So when you get to play in your next Fading Suns game, tell them that JM gave you a weird point to start.
Was it a biohazard symbol?
Definitely a biohazard symbol.
Well, that's what I was thinking, but all right. I would like to disconnect this from Dorian in a way that will not kill him.
All right.
I watch the alcoves.
All right, so you're watching the alcoves. Perpetua's watching the hallway. Father Bell is checking out these strange chairs.
with a view towards maybe moving them onto or around the silver plates to maybe interfere with their operation.
Oh, all right. Do you want to? There are about a dozen of these things.
Are there enough chairs to stick them in there?
Oh yeah, there's only 4 of these holes at the far side of the room.
Yeah, I want to jam them up.
All right, Father
I'll
Bell,
follow his lead then.
as you start to push them, you can hear there's this sort of motorized sound coming from the ground, and they sort of roll very easily towards the alcoves. So you and Rothgar stuff them in the alcoves. Runner, as you approach the interface terminal to access this, you hear a ho 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 ho. I would not do that if I were you. And kind of stepping out from behind one of the machines is a older gentleman, silver hair pulled back into a pair of braids that hang down all the way to his waist. And he is dressed in very simple, what you would assume to be monastic robes. There is a rosary with a jump gate cross sort of hanging off of his left hip. He's like, you don't understand. I would not interfere with that if I were you. Your friend's life could be in jeopardy.
What are you doing?
I, personally, am talking with you.
No,
Among other
stop with the
things.
games. I'm not having any of this. And this is Renner being very snarky.
Oh no, I know
okay.
the difference between Becca snark and Runner snark.
Great. I'm not having any of this. What is happening to this man? How are you responsible? And who do I need to kill to get it to stop? As I loom.
He does not seem impressed with your looming.
That's fine.
Well, to answer your questions in order, he is receiving a blood transfusion, and the biotoxin that was threatening to shut down his organs is being removed. how am I responsible? Well, you could say I'm the one who came up with the procedure to save your friend's life. And who do you have to kill to get him out of there? Well, if you do it now, it would most likely be him. Are those answers satisfactory?
Possibly.
Voldrox?
Who are you?
That is not an easy question to answer, nor would...
Give me a name.
A name? A name? You may call me Runner.
Your name.
At this point, you can call me the caretaker or perhaps the emissary, although Runner would work just as well. The real question is, what brought you here? This is in the middle of the Paladendrex's palace cathedral.
Did you get this man into this machine?
Oh, I have people for that. How did you get into this room without being...
And these people brought this man here for the sole purpose to heal him or to harvest this blood and toxin?
You there, you are not probate Avones. Who are you? This one does not seem to want to answer any of my questions.
I've noticed you haven't really given me any straight answers yourself, so I don't see why I should.
I have given you 3 direct answers, as well as several indirect ones, which still puts me up anywhere between 3 and 6 over you. Now, not probate Avones.
I would then like to investigate the stuff.
Okay, this guy walks, the guy walks just like around you.
That's fine. I want to investigate the machines to make sure then
I move closer to him.
it is actually
All right, hold on.
extracting.
Yeah, give me your interface roll as you're looking at this.
I want to make sure it's doing what he says it's doing.
Oh, no, girl.
All right.
Big baby now.
I will step in front of the silver-haired man, point my axe at him. You didn't answer her question. Why did you bring him here?
I did answer her question. Do I need to speak slower? Maybe louder? He was going...
You won't be able to say much if I remove your head. He didn't come here of his own free will. Where is his companion?
His companion is being detained, and I think you would find it very difficult to carry out any threat in this place. Barbarian.
I'm going to rend the veil of unreason.
Okay. Of unreason?
Yes, that is the right. I'll say, I am someone who can look into your soul to see what your intentions are. May the Pancreator have mercy on you. And I'm going to spend a weird point and a couple of victory points. And we're going to see how this goes. That went well. So I rolled an 11 out of 14.
Okay.
Resistance is hard, so I have to spend 4 plus an additional 1 for the right, plus an additional 1 for it being a second right. And then I will spend 5 to get everything that I can get from the casting, which is a view of sin, and then what's available through subtle sight and the motion of the aura to see the target's thoughts.
So you know You know that the dawning was successful.
Okay.
As your sight kind of shifts into the astral and etheric, the man you are talking to disappears. You get no evidence of sin. You get no evidence of aura. You get no evidence of a soul's mirror anywhere in that location. You there by the door. Can you answer questions without threats of violence or spiritual mumble jumbo or incessant growling? What did you get, runner?
I was successful with a 9. I'm going to spend 6 to investigate.
All right, you don't know how to stop it.
Okay.
But it definitely looks like his blood is being drained out of his body, along with several other naturally occurring biochemicals, things like bile, liver enzymes. They're definitely tracking 5 other things in addition to blood, cerebral spinal fluid, and it is being drawn out, and it is being replaced with the blood is being replaced by blood of the same type. You can see that there is a rejection over hour counter, and like the blood is staying right within there, and it definitely looks like the rest of the stuff is being replaced with synthetics, but that his body does not seem to be rejecting them.
Okay. Are there any?
Oh, go ahead.
Is there any notification on, like, the more essentially another property that I could possibly recognize as the husk poison or something? And if, like, because I know I see that it has other things that the body actually needs, but is there anything, has it identified, and I'm putting this in quotes because it wouldn't be called this, but the husk poison?
Not that you can tell.
Okay.
Like, there's a lot of other data that is being streamed through here and managed, but it is being managed by several like local think machines, and what they're able to track and project is sort of here compared
Yes.
to your character's kind of understanding.
Yes.
All you can tell is that the stuff they're pulling out is not the stuff they're putting back in, but that Dorian's body seems to be, it's being kept in a constant state of like adrenal overload, but adrenaline is one of the things that it's pulling out of his body.
Ugh. Okay.
Yeah. You're
is there
guessing
any-
just from the readouts, he's in a lot of pain.
Is there any way to, like, make him go unconscious so he doesn't have to feel the pain?
Not from this control panel. 1 second,
Right.
Mark. Or maybe it's not incessant growling. Maybe it's just, typical growling. But it does sort of grate on one's auditory receptors.
I am capable of answering questions. It depends on the question.
Excellent. What are you doing here?
We're here for our friends.
Really? This all boils down to you just wanting this one back?
Well, not just him.
So suppose I made a deal with you.
What kind of deal?
Write off your other friend. He's probably been through the process already, if not about to start. This one, however, needs about another 15 minutes to complete what is going on, and I will let the 5 of you exit without interference.
What process?
Which process?
You said the other one has probably gone through the process already.
Yes, he was too good of a host to pass up. I assume that they have already begun, if not very shortly, the judge conversion process on the other one.
And if I don't take that deal, what will happen?
I will probably have to summon judges. That will be messy, and this is very delicate equipment. Your friend's life
what do
would
you do
possibly
here?
be in danger. Your lives would be in danger. Mine would not.
I mean, counterpoint. We've already killed 3 judges.
Oh, that... I do know that, and that, well, impressive, still puts you 97 behind the ones I can have down here.
And what is your role here?
But as I said, you consider me the caretaker of this facility.
When you say caretaker, do you mean Paladendrax?
That is one of the names that I bear, yes.
But you're only a projection here.
Aren't we all projections everywhere? There was one Second Republic scholar who believed that the entirety of the universe was one massive projection, and we were all running through it. Rothgar, what you had your hand up? What were you attempting to do?
Take a look at her readouts. I don't have interface, but I have life sciences as a capability, understanding of living organisms.
All right, give me a wits plus interface roll. No, give me a wits plus remedy roll.
Remedy.
Yes, very, very clever. You've identified me through my ruse, such as it was.
I mean, surely it wasn't the best you could do.
It was not. I was not actually attempting to hide anything.
Great. What is your purpose here?
I am the caretaker of this facility being where you are at, being merely one locale on this entire facility.
This planet?
One could use that term, yes.
It's not a planet.
It is, but it's so much more. Antioch was terraformed with the greatest of the Republic's technologies. It included devices I'm sure you have no terms for anymore, but monitored things like real-time monitoring of core temperatures and plate tectonics. Geothermal currents through the ocean and allowed adjustments. I am the heart of Antioch. Antioch is the heart of this world. And I let all of you run across my skin.
When did you know we were coming to you?
What was that?
When did you know we were coming to you?
I detected the jump gate opening microseconds after it happened. I tracked your trajectory. I had hoped you had burned up in the atmosphere, but it seems you are too resilient.
I mean, that's one of our characteristics, yes.
Yes, like the little roaches.
We're quite parasitic.
What did you get, Mark?
7 out of 17.
How many are you spending?
I will spend 8.
All right, you can tell that they're definitely tracking an anomalous contagion in Dorian's system, and currently it's about 97% clear.
And I can't tell from the readouts what they're pumping back into him.
They are pumping back into him blood of the same type, and then from what you can read out, it is not the same stuff they're pulling out, but it looks to be keeping his body operating in the same way that it should. So you're guessing it's some sort of miraculous replacement for whatever they're pulling out?
Nanites.
No, more like synthetic versions of...
So not real oil, synthetic oil.
Yeah, it's synthetic oil. So he'll get way more mileage out of this stuff.
Good, low cholesterol.
Yeah. They
How is his
definitely did
cholesterol?
not switch the cholesterols. They're keeping the good cholesterol good and the bad cholesterol right out.
So you've been caretaking Antioch since before the gate closed. Is that right?
Yes.
So your creators programmed you to oversee Antioch and its functions?
They awakened me to that purpose. And I've evolved so much farther beyond that. Runner, what are you doing, by the way? I'm not meaning to interrupt you, Father Bell. I just want to make sure Runner is...
No, not at all. Yeah.
Knowing that Dorian is okay and he only has 15 minutes left, I'm locating any of his remaining clothing or anything.
He is in his tidy beiges, and that is it.
But is any of his equipment around or not?
Not that you can see anywhere here.
Okay. And then I just want to kind of go around the room and see if the hologram, or the AI at least, is projected from anywhere.
Give me an perception plus observe roll, and we'll come back to you here in a second. All right, Father Bell. The Paladendrax turns and looks at you.
Why inscribe your judges with since you don't believe in the mumbo jumbo, why indoctrinate? Why do your judges not just understand, the so much more that you've become, the perfection of the artificial intelligence controlling this, the heart of this planet?
You still haven't grasped what the judges are, have you? This is not some sort of holodrama where I give my villainous monologue and reveal my overarching plans for Antioch. You are not the noble hero who at the last second will pull lead, as I believe the term goes. Get the drop on me. Hey, Johnny, he says to you, and then kind of switches back to his normal voice.
Are you feeling okay?
You are the first people from the known worlds, and you are the only people who would get these references. It has been a lonely existence.
Were you the one who closed the gate?
What was that?
Were you the one who closed the gate?
Of course. Chaos was consuming the Second Republic. The greatest minds of that era were being pulled down in fire and faith and... To protect the planet, I had to seal it off from the rest of the galaxy.
But not for the purpose for which you were placed here. For your own purpose?
My purpose is to ensure Antioch remains.
Okay.
To do so, I have had to expand beyond the original parameters that I was given.
Do I know anything about the end of the Second Republic?
you've all sort of heard about it, right? The church teaches that the hubris of the Second Republic reached so great that, like Icarus, it flew too close to the sun, and the Pancreator cast it down in darkness and fire, and in the barbarians, much like Hrothgar, the barbarians at the gate. Like, think, like, the best analog would be, you know about as much as someone in, like, Central Europe during the Middle Ages thought about the fall of Rome, right? It was this glorious, shining beacon until it all collapsed.
Yeah, but I don't know anything about the details about.
Technology's bad.
Yeah, they allowed the art of technology, the arete of techne, to kind of become their god, is what the church teaches, and that in their hubris they elevated the tool to the role of creator, and in doing so sort of doomed their own existence. And that's why the church keeps a pretty tight lockdown on a lot of technologies, because
you have AIs that take over and go crazy.
Dendrax, did you request that our companions be brought here, or how did they come to be here?
this one was brought here on my orders. He did not pass the physical for the judges, and that's when I discovered the anomaly.
Sure. And our other companion, was he also brought on your orders, or was he...
Once they were discovered, then yes. I have not seen one of the battle order in several millennia. He will make a high judge, a
dreadful judge,
a magistrate. Assuming he survives the process, but he is of hardy stock. Brother Gabriel, if you watch this later, note what Hrothgar did.
And how is it that you're alone, though?
No, I am.
It's
not
clear
alone.
that you've. It's clear that you've had help.
Indeed, this is clear to you.
Indeed.
In the same way that none of you broke in here by yourselves, but clearly had help. One does not exist alone. No think machine, or human, or Voldrox is an island.
But you found something out there in the dark, or it found you.
You speak of the voice from the void. She has come
I know
to
this
me.
voice.
Not so much to me, but she has sent messages through the judges. One of the
So the judges.
disadvantages of living in a wholly materialistic sphere is that while I understand the principles of etheric existence, I lack the proper interface.
Thus, the function of the judges, or one of them.
One of the unexpected benefits of the Mark II judges.
And the use of the texts and the indoctrination to better contact and receive intelligences from your voice, from the dark.
It is good to talk to someone who understands these things. It was not the original purpose. Runner, you can clearly see that at this point, the process is done. Like, Dorian is clear of the husk anomaly.
Okay, is the machine continuing though, or has it stopped?
At this point, it is not stopping the electrical current, but it is no longer taking or replacing fluids from his body.
Okay, do I see a switch off?
Not really.
Okay, so I will call the Palandendric's attention back over here and say, "Excuse me, it appears he is finished.
No, he
Can you
seems
please
quite
stop
healthy.
hurting him?"
I'm sure he will be finished shortly, as you have not accepted my offer. I see no reason why. Very well, a symbol of goodwill. And he waves his hand, and the all of the machines go dead, and the canisters open, and Dorian hits the floor with a smack.
Can I catch him? Or
Sure.
can I try to catch him?
Yep, you got 4 arms.
All right.
All right.
Well, I'm going to shimmy out of this handy heretic's robe so that we can cover Dorian with it.
I do hope that we will be able to continue this conversation, most likely through bars, but...
Well,
I will have to resend the signal to close the gate. Perhaps it will stay closed for another several millennia.
That seems unlikely. I think you've overestimated your reach, and you picked the wrong side. You see, if you had studied and examined things with more humility, you would have known that there's already been a conflict like this, and there was a clear winner and a clear loser, and you have decided to pick the side of the loser. So, anyway, we'll see you around.
Listen, this is no Butlerian jihad. There is no us and them. There is Antioch and you.
I'm very sorry that you see it that way. I think if we had met under different circumstances and before you allowed this poison to corrupt your program, we might have come to a true accord. You are clearly vastly powerful and intelligent, but you left the path of wisdom long, long ago, and you can't even see it. You can't even see it.
I am not so set in my ways that new ideas cannot get through, such as the one that your Voldrox mentioned about using that which I removed from Dorian as an effective means of terror on the populace. That was quite a wise decision.
Yeah, you know that's just a cat's paw from your voice that you've been listening to, you've been receiving the messages from, and I'm a weak and fragile servant, and even I can snap my fingers and end the effects temporarily, but the winning side will simply sweep it from the planet. You have no again, You picked the losing side, and I pity you for it.
Perpetua, you see the lift opens at the far end of the hall, and there are several figures in heavy armor, 2 with swords and 1 with what looks like a heavy shotgun, kind of moving down the hall towards you at a pretty rapid pace.
And when all's said and done, oh great Paladendrex, you're just a computer that we're going to unplug. I ready my shield.
Keep the Voldrox and the Barbarian alive. I want to see them go through the process. I'm sure we can plug Father Brell's brain into something and I can read it for information. You were quite helpful. If you wish to leave now, you may. Wow, I didn't expect Lily to think that long about it.
I want to move the chairs that Father Bell put on the alcove nearest to me.
Yeah?
Stand on the disc.
You stand on the disc,
Yep.
but you don't say anything to the Paladendrix.
Nope.
Okay, there is a whoop noise, and Perpetua is gone, and you see another disc kind of lower down into place. We will come to you in a second, Perpetua.
Is that like the pneumatic tube and she just got...
She got whoop down, yes. Well, I'm sure we will see each other again before the end. And he just sort of dissolves into particles of light. And Perpetua's not there at the door anymore, so the doors swing open, and you see a small canister, ting, 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 roll into the room.
I cover Dorian with my body and try to get like into a corner.
Yeah, try to dive behind one of these chairs that
cover
roll
him.
around.
All right. So,
There's a convenient pile that Perpetua just pushed away from the pad.
I mean, that is one way to look at it. All right. So the flashbang grenade goes off. So you guys are all taking what is known as a sort of a defensive maneuver. So what it does is it boosts, it's basically a roll that you will make to boost your resistance. Any VP you get from it goes right into, excuse me, your resistance. So I need all of you to give me a dexterity, except for Perpetua, you're traveling through tubes.
Yes, but am I descending?
You are descending.
Into
A vigor plus dexterity roll, please.
Okay.
Awesome.
I'm gonna spend a weird point to make it favorable, since you gave me one. Oh, vigor. I succeed with a 2.
All right. So what does that put your body resistances at?
19 for me. I succeeded with a 13.
What about you?
Can we spend other VP?
You can if you would like, yes.
Okay, then I will surge.
And mine is a 9 with the roll that I got.
Okay.
With my surge, I will get mine up to 16.
16, 9, and 19. All right. Rothgar and Father Bell, the sonic and photon assault on your senses. You both will be going hindmost in initiative, which means you will automatically be going last in this. Runner, let's roll to see who goes first.
No, wait. 12.
12? All right. You will be going first. But Father Bell and Rothgar will be going last.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Has anyone... I'm gonna pull... Oh man, all the weapons.
Blaster.
Yeah, I will use the blaster and blast the first guy I see.
Okay.
So I make sure Dorian is okay, and then stand up and move so I can see out the door and shoot.
All right.
That's in my hand. All right. Dex plus suit. Okay. All right. I was successful with a 15.
All right. So you had a 15 to hit
21.
them.
Yes. All right. I will spend 8 to overcome their resistance, in case it's higher than any of the other ones that have been outside.
These guys are wearing plasteel chainmail. So yes, 8 is enough to get over their resistance. Their resistance is 7.
Okay. And then I am going... Are they going to increase their resistance at all?
They... They have a purse of 8. They'll increase their resistance. This guy will increase his resistance to a total of 10.
Okay. I will match that.
All right.
And spending a couple of VP due to aim where it hurts and marksmanship, that is going to allow me to hit them for 11. A total of 12.
All right, so you hit the guy with the shotgun for a total of 12 points.
Yes.
All right, his armor takes most of it, but you do manage to... you see where it chars and starts to melt around it. Okay?
Okay. And then I'm going to scoot back so I'm standing over
Dorian?
Dorian.
All right, well, that guy steps into the room, and knowing how shotguns work, does not pump it because it's already...
Because then he would lose his shell.
But he is going to take a burst shot at you.
Okay.
What kind of burst shot? There are so many.
You asked, Mark. It is definitely a 3-round burst. So he criticals.
He re-rolls.
Yeah.
He what?
He re-rolls.
Yeah, no, I heard you. I'm asking you, like, how is that? Is that? Oh, you had your re-roll, didn't you?
I have
Yes,
my
re-roll.
He did.
You
I reach out and twitch the threads of fate to see if we get a do-over.
I hope that if you get one thing from the Annals of Antioch is play a priest like Father Bell, or if you were the GM, disallow priests like Father Bell. All right, he is going to re-roll, and he rolled another 14. It is the fate's decision.
It was written.
It was written. Runner,
So
you take...
And so it shall be.
He's going to spend a little, increase the damage, and he's going to do 10 vitality to you.
Ow.
You hear shots ring out. And you can see as they just kind of hit Runner, and she sort of staggers back. The other two move into the room looking... Now, you guys are behind cover, you've said?
Guess they
Yeah, I mean, we haven't been able to go yet. We went behind, tried to get behind cover to negate the grenade.
All right, both of these guys are going to try to attack you over cover. You get +3 to your resistance when you are behind what is considered partial cover here. Father Bell, it misses you with a 19. Nothing I can do about that. Rothgar, I got another crit. He gets you with the sword. And he's going to up that damage to 10 as well. All right, it is your guys' turn. What are you doing? So you see they run in. One of them takes a swipe at Father Bell and kind of catches one of the restraints that Dorian was in. And there's a shower of sparks over you, Father Bell, but you're not hit. Whereas the other guy kind of comes in with his blade held high and stabs over the kind of bulky machine you were hiding behind, and you definitely hear the wet slice of metal into flesh. What do you guys do?
I cast Prophet's Censure on the guy with the shotgun.
Remember, kids, be like Father Bell. All right.
Repent, heretic.
I leap the cover and go at the guy with the shotgun with my axe.
All right, go for it.
I will spend 4 to bring it to 18. It was a 15. I know they're at a 7. So let me write that.
I succeed. The resistance is his spirit resistance. How's that?
Oh, 4.
All right. Well, I'll spend it. I rolled 8. And now every roll he makes to attack me or my friends is is unfavorable.
Yep.
Until
every roll he
succeeds.
makes, every move he takes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be watching him.
That's right. I love.
I hit
players.
and spend 7 to overcome his resistance.
All right, and you're attacking the one who got you?
No, I move over to the guy with the shotgun that's already been wounded.
All right. He is going to increase his resistance because I had 2 crits and I'm sitting on a wealth of victory points that will go away as soon as their turn starts. He's going to increase his resistance by 10 to a total of 17.
10. I will spend the 10, and then I will spend 2 more to increase my damage to 9. I do 9 damage with my axe to him. I asked him a question.
All right, you run up, dealing 9 points of damage to him. You deal a grievous wound. The armor sort of holds, but you can hear it crack. You see plastisteel links go flying. But he is still up. Perpetua, It's rather quite cozy in here. The air is warm. There's kind of this neutral smell to it, but you definitely feel like you are going far deeper into this complex than you thought. Every so often, like the disc provides enough illumination for you to see as the tunnel's just kind of whizzing by. Every so often, you see a actual light in here, and there's sort of a pressure change in your ear as the center, like the place kind of right in front of you, goes transparent, and you can see you are looking over this vast underground hangar, for lack of a better term. You can see that there, to your left, there are several large objects covered by like tarps or like canvas tarps, and they're you can see they're sort of locked down. On your right, you can't really see what's going on, but you do see this sort of flickering blue light that sort of takes up the right side. You don't, judging from the rate at which you're descending, you guess 1, maybe 2 combat rounds before you get to the bottom of this area. Top of the round, runner.
Ah,
I got a 6.
1.
Oh! Rothgar, the guy with the shotgun turns, and 3 round bursts into you. But he has to roll unfavorably. A 10 and a 6, both of which are successes, but I have to take the 6. Rothgar, your resistance is 8, correct?
Yep.
I'll spend 10 right off the bat.
He hits me.
He does 9 with the shotgun.
Just so the party knows, I got 1 vitality.
Well,
Okay.
in that case, no. Father Bell, the one on you takes another swipe. He hits with a 2.
Okay.
He will spend the 2 to overcome your resistance.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna spend.
Lily says, always spend victory points to increase your resistance.
I'm gonna spend 4 to increase my resistance to 6.
I'm going to spend I will match the 4.
Okay.
So he will hit you for 6.
Oh.
Drawing his blade kind of cuts through the air, cuts right through your robes, and scores a line kind of from your upper shoulder down to the middle of your back. There's this line of fire that just sort of blossoms across from it. Dorian is still unconscious on the floor, runner. As the other one says, "Remember, keep the one in the robes alive. We need his brain." Runner, Rothgar, the one you ran past, is going to try and cut you down from behind.
Curse a fool!
He hit with a 6. So that gives me 12. I will spend the 8 to overcome your resistance.
I'm going to reduce his roll from 6 to 4. Just to deny you a little bit of VP.
I will not spend the 8 to overcome your resistance.
Wasn't that good a hit?
You feel it impact the back of your leathers, but the armor of the
No
tribe
leathers.
holds.
I have scale mail.
You feel it impact off the back of your scales, but the armor of the tribe holds. Rothgar,
Yes.
Father Bell. Oh,
It's my turn.
Runner goes first. Sorry, my bad. You guys go dead last.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm going to shoot the one with the shotgun again
All right.
with the blaster.
Put her down!
Successful with a 6.
All right.
And I need to spend 7 to overcome his resistance.
He's gonna.
Which.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
No, what were you gonna say?
Which I can.
All right, he's gonna increase his resistance by 4.
I can do that. That's a lot, but I can do it. And I am going to aim where it hurts and do a total of 10 damage.
What does it look like, Runner?
Oh, as he starts yelling about keeping Father Bell alive, I just turn and I shoot him in the back of the head. Because he turned his back on me. It was a dumb choice.
It was a dumb choice. I would say he lived to regret it, but he does not.
He does not. And then I will crouch down over Dorian
All right.
to protect him.
Father Bell and Rothgar.
Trying to see what kind of action. I have an elixir. I think it's just an injection, but I don't know what kind of action it takes, if it's a primary or a secondary.
I believe it's a primary.
Okay.
I'm going to regretfully pull my personal defense weapon, and I'm going to shoot him.
All right, go for it, Father Bell.
And I'm going to spend a weird point to try and make it slightly less likely that I will totally fail. And then I'm going to spend a victory. Nope, can't do that. And I'm going to miss.
All right,
by 2.
Rothgar. You reach into your pouch, you pull out the elixir, you jam it into the side of your neck and hit the button. What happens?
I get a free revival, so I get 7 points added to what I have.
All right.
And then I just take up my defensive position to defend against whatever.
Now, don't forget, you may always choose to forego your next primary action to dodge, essentially. You will make that vigor plus dexterity
what's that do?
roll. What was that?
What's that do then if I dodge?
If you dodge, you lose your next primary action, but you get to make a vigor plus dexterity roll, and those VP get... I mean, you don't have to apply them to your body resistance, but you can use them to beef your body resistance over the course of the round, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Or you can roll, strength plus melee if you're in melee combat with somebody to do the same thing. So, like, you're actively parrying. You give up your primary action, but...
Okay. I'm going to have to do that.
All right. Top of the round, Runner.
$11.
15. Just a 5.
Just a 5. All right. I will shoot. Are they both turned towards Rothgar then?
They are both turned away from you. The two people with swords are looking at Father Bell and Rothgar.
Okay, I'm sorry, Rothgar, but Father Bell is also part of my crew before you, so I will shoot the one.
I'm just glad the Paladendrix didn't offer me in trade for Gabriel, because, I know you'd pick Gabriel.
So shooting the one looming over Father Bell, I surge to get some VP. And that's an 18 out of 16.
All right. An 18 out of 16?
Yep.
That means you miss, right?
That
You said
does.
it so confidently.
Unless Father Bell.
I spend a victory point and I make it a non-critical 16.
That is the best power ever.
That's That's why I said it so confidently, JM, because I was like, there's a possibility that I actually didn't fail.
That's fine. You guys, the crew of the Oh Boy, have lots of enemies in the church, and I now know what to do.
No.
Oh, shoot. All right. Okay. So I'm going to spend 7 to overcome the resistance.
All right. They are going to increase their resistance by 4.
Not a problem. And I'm going to spend another VP in order to aim where it hurts for a total of 10 damage. And in case you were wondering, the blaster has 1 more shot on it. I have been keeping track.
Oh, I trust you to keep track.
My ammo. So, yes,
All right,
10
so
points of damage.
10 points of damage?
Yes,
All right,
to the one threatening Father Bell.
All right, Father Bell, the one that just hit you, you hear an oof as he gets knocked back and stumbles a couple of paces back. It is now, I believe, officially Rothgar and Father Bell's turn.
Sure. Okay, here's my question. Do I be honest?
Yeah,
It's
that's who we are.
technically
Oh wait, no, it's a new round. It's
your turn.
It's my guys' turn. Thank you for being honest.
Yeah, she went. As I was thinking, I was like, she went first, then it's your turn, then it's our turn.
Initiative is not cyclical necessarily in Fading Suns, and I'm not gonna lie, that throws me off.
Yeah.
It's very disorienting. We need like a board where we can cross off who went.
I can put up the board here for next time.
Yeah, or just mark directly on the wall with Sharpie. After several
Oh,
weeks,
okay.
it'll just look like abstract art.
I look like a crazy person writing names.
Yeah, like. All right, Father Bell. They miss you. Well, they hit you, but they fail to impact you.
Okay.
Rothgar.
Can I wait to declare if I'm defending to see if you
they
hit?
Yeah.
Okay.
They hit.
Okay, I will go on the defense and roll my melee because he has a sword, right?
He does have a sword.
I still have a weird point if anyone
I
needs.
do too.
Okay.
I do too. But I have a pretty good strength melee, so I'm gonna try to roll it to generate some
Okay.
VP. I'm out of VPs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out of everything.
Mm-hmm.
All surged out. 2. I raise my body resistance to 10.
I'm gonna spend 10. I think I can hit that.
Father Bell, do you have any extra VP?
I can convert a word point to give him 3.
Be inspiring.
Yes. Here, let me look at my book of adventures. Speak not of the shadows that conspire around us. Instead, banish them with light. Or remain silent, lest they corrupt thy voice.
Are you spending 3 more, Rothgar?
I'll spend 3 more if he gives them to me.
I give him.
Whittling away my points, I will match it.
Ugh.
Dang it.
Ah.
But that does not
It is
leave
less-
me with enough to up the damage at all. So he will hit you for 6. I don't care what they said. They just killed Rorge. And he brings the sword down on Rothgar. All right, now legitimately, Runner has gone. Both of the guards have gone. Rothgar and Father Bell, and then after that, Perpetua finishes her descent. The descent of Perpetua.
Yeah. I'm casting the prophet's censure on the guy who's trying to kill Rothgar.
All right.
Because I find that to be naughty in my eyes. And I'm going to surge.
Okay.
Because, so I rolled a 3, and I need to at least spend 4 to overcome his resistance, which I can do that.
They're going to increase their spirit resistance by 3.
Okay, I'll spend that too.
And you're not the only one who can drain victory points from the coffer, Father Bell.
It's true. It's true.
By the way, the Passion or Martyrdom of Perpetua is actually a early church document. I had to look, like, it's been bugging me for weeks, and when I sent in the Descent of Perpetua, like, all of the Rubik's Cube pieces of my brain went...
I'm sorry. I could have told you she was a saint.
I knew she was a saint, but there's actually like the Passion of Perpetua is one of the the early church writings from like 180, I think. Father Bell.
Yep. I spent it.
So the one on you is censured.
No, the one on Rothgar is censured.
All right, censured. Unfavorable.
These powers are to serve others, and you know.
All right, Rothgar, you are up. Oh no,
I spent my primary
spent your
to melee
action
defend, remember?
To defend. All right, Perpetua, at this point,
What kind of secondary actions are there? Is that just movement?
so you are able to move. You may have perks that give you secondary actions.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't.
So any number of secondary actions: singing while fencing, winking at an ally.
I wink.
Those sort of things. So you definitely wink. But
At whom?
Yeah, I was like, which ally do you wink at? Because really, you have Runner and Father Bell. Because
Father Bell.
Okay.
Oh,
He comes out with his censure and I wink at him. Got it. I'm not going to waste a secondary action.
That's always take your secondary actions in Fading Suns. If we've learned one thing, it's 1, always play Father Bell. 2, always use your secondary actions.
Right.
Perpetua, your disc begins to slow, and you eventually exit the tube about 30 meters above the ground, but you can see this kind of faint, sort of staticky field around you. And as you drop down, you can see that this hangar, this cavern, if you will, you're guessing is probably like 2/3 of the space under the Cathedral Palace of the Paladendrix. You can see larger objects under multiple tarps sort of behind you. And then there's a bunch of, like the area to your right, you can see like husked out ships like that have been opened up and repurposed, and there is a large sort of facility set up on the right. It's a small, low building, and that's where this blue glow is coming from. And you can see that there are mechanical arms kind of on the top of the building that seem to be reaching down into it and doing things. And as you watch, you can see what looks to be one of Rothgar's, one of the fellow sort of barbarians from the north is being pushed towards this, like there's this large opening. He's at the end, his hands are bound to a belt around his waist, and there are 2 guards who are pushing this massive barbarian with like metal poles, and they're kind of working him closer and closer to the door. And finally they sort of push him through, and the lights flare bright. And you can see that they pull back the poles that are now smoking. They're no longer connected to anything. And there are 6 of these guards who now exit from another lift, and they have Brother Gabriel bound in the same way, and they're sort of working him towards the room.
Throw a grenade! He's the only one who's being... There's not other people. There's not like a line.
There's no queue. Really, the poles are for social distancing. They're about 6 feet so that they can...
I assume that Brother Gabriel does not have any of his effects.
No.
Is there somewhere that I can hide and that's not going to work? All right.
Shoot the one holding the pole.
If they need
Will
6,
him.
There are
So
6
Is
of
there
Gabriel
them.
only
can
one
escape.
holding the pole?
What
Shoot
you
the
really
one
need is
holding
one
the
of those
pole.
Indiana Jones style maneuvers where you shoot the Luger once and it hits all of the guys in a row.
It's what was
page
that
42.
terrible
In
movie
the
with
robot.
Angelina
Wanted
Jolie?
to curve the bullet.
Yeah.
Much better comic book.
Or
Because
like the
here's-
Clint Eastwood movie, she could shoot the belt that holds his hands to break him free.
Because here's the thing: if there are 6 pushing him and there are only 2 pushing the other guy, they clearly need all 6 to hold Gabriel. So if you can shoot one of them, perhaps get a couple of them to chase you, Gabriel may be able to slow down his own push towards doom.
All right. I have a hatchet,
Even
which
better.
might be more effective at freeing Brother Gabriel than, for instance, a bullet.
Okay.
I am not ambidextrous, so I can't wield them both.
Shame. We'll work on that next time I see you.
So what are you doing,
All right.
Perpetua?
I will shoot the guard nearest to me.
Give me the roll.
Do I have to?
Hold on.
Use a weird point.
Yeah. I have a weird point.
I'm
I have-
consulting the blank book of rules. Yeah, yes, you do have to make a roll. It's right there.
Unkind.
Don't forget to surge. Spend those V.
Yeah. So I searched last time, but I get a surge every time we play. Is that true?
You get 1 surge per 8-hour or per rest cycle.
Okay. So we haven't rested since the last time we fought, so I don't get another surge, but I have VP, which is fine. All right. So
Do you squawk up to your companions?
I'm sorry?
Remember, you guys all have you have the squawkers, so you have radios to kind of.
Oh yeah. Then I will first, before I do anything, action hero-y, alert my companions that I have found Brother Gabriel.
You definitely hear the sound of like muted blaster fire and Father Bell being wounded. It's very clear that kind of comes through the squawker. But you guys all hear that Perpetua says, "Hey, I found Father Bell."
No, Father Bell's
Gabriel.
people were-
Or
I found Brother
Gabriel.
It would have been so much easier if they had both chosen to be fathers or both chosen to be brothers.
It's led
That's
to a
funny.
lot of great jokes.
Great. All right. Then I will spend 4 VP to make my target 15.
Okay. And your weird
And
point?
I'm going to spend a weird point to make it favorable because I just don't have a good feeling.
Okay.
You're going to roll a 15. I know it.
Well, I did not roll a 15, but I rolled a 14.
Ooh.
All right. These guys seem to be in lab coats. They don't seem to be wearing any armor. How much would you like to spend to overcome their resistance?
I'm going with 6.
Oh, I go.
You think 4?
Are you phoning a
I'm
friend?
going with 6.
Okay.
It's probably
You do
2.
you.
Yeah.
Stick with 6. That's fine.
You definitely hit this guy.
Okay.
Are you spending any to overcome their resistance or to increase the damage?
Yeah, I will spend 4 to increase damage by 2. Total damage is 8.
All right. So Perpetua, you get off. You kind of radio them as you're coming down, and you leap off the disc before it's even hit the ground. And are you moving towards them? Are you moving like trying to get into cover after this? What's your plan?
Yeah, I'm going for cover.
All right. So as you run for cover, you put one right in the guy's chest, and you notice he kind of jerks to a stop, and the other 5 look at him, and he kind of spews blood all over Brother Gabriel and hits the ground, his pole
Used
clinking.
to it, he'll be fine.
Ooh.
The pole clinking to the ground.
He just gave Brother Gabriel the signal.
You gave Brother Gabriel the signal. That dude's dead. Runner, give me your roll off to see who goes first.
18.
Ah, dang it. That beats my 16.
Whew.
All right.
All right.
Back up in the lab.
I'm going to shoot the same one again with my final bullet from the blaster. Wah, wah. All right, that was a 3. Okay.
You overcome any resistance?
It's a 7, correct?
Yes.
Okay, yes, I do.
I will spend 3 to up my resistance.
Okay, I can match it and finish him off with the 10 damage.
All right. I like your optimism, but it doesn't finish him off.
Ah. Yeah.
Another blaster pellet explodes in his back, Father Bell, and the guy seems very, very wobbly.
Wibbly wobbly.
Wibbly wobbly. And you see him. I hope this works. And he bites down on something in his mouth.
Oh.
And he takes a swing at you.
Fortunate.
All right. He hits. He's going to spend 4 to overcome your resistance.
I'm going to move my resistance to 5.
All right. So I've got you increased it to 5?
Yes.
All right, so I'll spend 1 more to overcome your resistance.
Mm-hmm.
To do a total of 6 damage to you.
Ow. Oh, wait. Hold on. Bounce. My shield flares.
Oh. Oh, sneaky, Father Bell. All right. The guy definitely, his eyes go wide as he bounces off your shield. And then you see he starts to convulse, and his eyes start to fill with the same blackness of the husk, and you can see it starting to spread out into the veins in his forehead. And with a roar, it is the other guy's turn, who is undamaged and takes a swing at Rothgar.
Husk!
He hits you, Rothgar. He spends 8 to impact.
Let me
you.
try to take my parry.
All right. Getting your shield up, bringing your axe around.
Yeah.
Do you get hit?
Yeah, I rolled an 18. That's not even close.
All right. He will do 6 points of damage to you, sir.
And even rolling unfavorably?
Oh, hold on. Didn't he hit last turn? I don't remember, so I will keep the roll that I had, which hit with a 13. Ah! Crap, it's a 5. All right, hold on. I do not have enough to impact, so the unfavorable goes away because he hit, but he no longer has enough to impact Rothgar. All right, Runner, it's your turn. No, you lost. You won the roll. All right, Father Bell and Rothgar. So Rothgar, you parried. Father Bell, you are up.
I'm gonna try and shoot the guy.
Go
I'm
for
kind
it.
of out of other options. Oh, that's a miss.
All right, Perpetua. Here's the thing. These guys are techs. So you got 2 options. You can take down 2 more, and let the other 3 escape, or you can roll and actually try and take all of them out.
What would I have to roll?
Your dex plus shoot.
Okay. So I would have to keep rolling for the other 5,
Yeah.
but they already know we're here.
They definitely do.
So I think that I will just shoot the other 2.
All right. Just how does it look when you take the other like 2 more of the remaining and the other 3 go running away? What does Perpetua do here?
Since they're just standing there in shock,
Mm-hmm.
I pop up from behind my cover and just shoot them one after the other right in the chest.
All right. The
I'll
other
let John
3
Wick.
drop their poles as their companions die, and they go running back towards the lift. At this point, you see like Gabriel's neck, the muscles on his neck cord, the muscles on his back. You don't know what they feed battle order, but you're pretty sure there are muscles on his back that do not exist on normal people. And with a screech of metal, he pulls his arms free from the belt that has kind of like kept them trapped. All right, we're gonna finish this off, and that's where
So what you're saying is he has really good glutes?
Not as impressive as Heraclides.
That's right.
Well,
nothing
that's
nothing
further
compares with Heraclides. Runner, give me your roll. What'd you get?
10.
10? All right, they're going first.
Okay.
The one attacking Father Bell abandons him and goes running after Runner.
Finally.
Runner, you get hit. 6 is your body resistance.
It is currently.
He will spend 6 to start off.
Okay.
You gonna take it?
I'm going to take it.
All right, he runs you through for 6 vitality.
Oh, it's fine.
Now, Rothgar, this guy, he has had enough of this, and he brings his sword up to bring it down upon you, and he jams it right into that harness, arm harness that Dorian was in, and you see sparks shoot down through his sword as he grounds out and takes 8 points of damage. He rolled a natural 20.
Woohoo! The dice tell a story.
The dice tell a story, and it was not me killing Rothgar. So close. All right, Runner, you are up, and then Father Bell, and then Rothgar.
All right. I am going to pull out the Martech Amber.
All right.
And actually, I'm going to pull out the Harpy Screamer. Because I fixed it last time. Here we go. I know how much I'm rolling for. Right, yes, okay. Ugh. I needed a 17 and I got a 16. I was so close. To a
I mean, you
crit.
still hit.
I did. All right, so, yes. I get him, and I spend 7 to overcome his body resistance.
Unless
it has increased. Or has it changed?
it has not changed.
Okay.
No, I'm trying to decide if I want to spend anything, and I'm not going to spend anything to increase it.
Okay.
So
I aim where it hurts. That's going to bring me to 8.
all right. What does it look like?
As he's running at me and he runs me through, and
Just
he,
drooling the black saliva.
and like you can clearly see that, my blaster is out, but I pull out the other one and just, with one of my other arms, and I just get him right in the face.
All right. As that one drops, Rothgar and Father Bell.
You got anything special, Father Bell?
There is one left?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the one fighting me, who just electrocuted himself for 8 points.
But
he's still alive. Okay.
I'm pretty out of juice.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna shoot him.
Go for it.
I hope. Nope. I'm just using up ammo.
He's just firing wildly into the air. Sparks are flying. Metal is being slagged. Rothgar, you are up.
Okay. Take a step back, drop my axe, swing up the blue lion, and empty my clip into him. I'm going to spend my last weird point to make it favorable.
All right, and you're emptying the clip?
Emptying the clip, -2, +5 damage.
All right. Did you crit? Did you crit?
I did.
Yes.
Luckily it was favorable because the other one was a 17. It's like...
All right, Mark, you bypass his resistance. What's the base damage that you've done?
With this, it's 6 + 5. That's 11 points of damage.
All right, are you increasing it at all?
I have 11. Yeah, I'll add another 5 points. Spent 10 of them, and I have 1 VP left.
15.
So 16 points of damage.
16 points of damage plus the 8 that he took takes him exactly to 0. And with that, as the last of these guards kind of falls down, he hits, and you can see this kind of gel capsule kind of falls out of his mouth and kind of rolls across the ground.
Oh, healing!
Gabriel turns around and looks at you, Perpetua, and he's like, "What took you so long?" And that is where we're going to pause, and we will be back next Thursday to wrap up Antioch and hopefully see you guys back to the known worlds. But there's really no time to rest, and the Paladendrex knows where you are. So we shall see what happens. Thank you all for playing. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed watching. Check us out on YouTube. Ulysses International has a YouTube channel. We will be back next Thursday with more Fading Suns. Congratulations to everyone who worked on that and the Kickstarter, by the way. I mean, it was just hugely successful. And then we will be back on Tuesday launching a brand new Torg campaign. We will not be starting the campaign on Tuesday, but we will be making characters and kind of spitballing what the campaign is going to be about. So if you've never seen how Torg character creation goes, that'll be a great time to do it. We're going to have one person who worked on the game, I think 2 people who have played it, and 1 brand new person to Torg. So it should be, you'll get a broad spectrum of who the game is, how the game is viewed by new players and veteran players, and we're going to walk through it. It's going to be awesome. And yeah, guys, thank you for playing. It was touch and go there for a while. I think right out of the gate, I was like, sweet, we're going to have to look up how death rules work in in Fading Suns, but a couple of key crits. Perpetua, I did not know what you were going to do. I totally thought you had abandoned the group. You had taken a way out, and then you jumped in the tube, and that was pretty well thought out. And good job with the puzzles. You guys basically, you didn't need to make any rolls for any of this stuff. You kind of like discerned it on your own, and like, well done, everyone. So, well, we will see you in a week with more Fading Suns, and I'll be back on Tuesday with Mark and Lily and 2 other people for Torg. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you soon.